Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Tearing My Hair Out. You already know my name, and today I'll be cutting introductory things a bit short. This video is, as the title and thumbnail probably told you, about Oblivion. No, not the movie. I'm talking about the hit 2006 video game by Bethesda Softworks. So here's my question. Can I beat Oblivion with a random mod every death? You've watched my other challenge runs before, and if you haven't, go check out my playlist. I'll assume you have, however, so here are the rules, quick, easy, and simple. Every time I die, I have to roll a new mod on the random wheel. After I escape the sewers, I roll one random mod to start the run. I can have followers only if they're mod followers, or followers that are affected by mods. If I play the game for 2 hours without dying, it's random mod time, and at the start of the final mission, I install 5 random mods from the wheel. Now that I've forced you to stare into the eyes of Joe Biden circa, no, I think he's always been as old as he is, we can actually begin this Cyrodiilic adventure. So for the uninitiated, that means the montage begins now. The Oblivion character creator. It can create such wacky characters as Gorblar Zemmelby, Zanzibar McGorpshar, Lilakathiakicus Moses, the list goes on and on. You see, in my Skyrim video, I came up with a joke so good that I just can't give it up while playing these games. So, welcome to the land of Cyrodiil. Does not elaborate. I certainly hope you aren't tortured beyond belief. As it turns out, the government found out about my Discord logs. I've been given 400 years to life, which is 1 year for every 10 threats I made against a government agency. It turns out that saying in Minecraft doesn't save you after all.
FBI, open up!
So as the guards tell me to stay back where they'll tase my balls with a dose of literal lightning, I get to speak to a geriatric patient hellbent on self-force multiplying. That's not a bad thing though. I have a serious colon-tingling sensation that perhaps he'll get exactly what he wants soon.
Hello, my gentrified, scaly compatriot. What brought you to this fine dungeon of mine?
Haha, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'll just say I don't know and pretend like it wasn't my fault.
A smart decision, but I do not care about that. You've won the jailhouse lottery. The 1 millionth prisoner sentenced to die of starvation within this very cell gets to join me on my suicide mission.
I don't want to die yet, I've got so much left to live for. Like, playing through Morrowind and Fallout 3. I guess that's not much after all, but I'm still expecting it.
Talk to me when your YouTube channel reaches 1 million subscribers. Then I'll reimburse your life.
Please, sire. We can't break the fourth wall anymore.
Well, I can't go over it, and I can't go around it, so I guess I'll just have to go through it. Check out my sick RP walking. I've mastered it as an art form. It's like the jerk or the Dougie or the shuffle or any other dance move, but done by a dorky white dude on YouTube. After a lethal run-in with some LARPers from 4chan, I'm given orders to sit in this whack-ass dungeon and rot away. Thank goodness for the rat god who appears to free me from my suffering. Unfortunately, I also have to beat that shitter into the dust to earn my freedom. Since I don't have any random mods, this journey is the same as everyone's. The only difference is that I punch things a lot more than usual. Anyway, after genociding rats, goblins, and zombies, I meet back up with ye old and samurai and pretty much every old man in American Congress all at once. More LARPers show up to try and fail at assassinating the leader of the empire, making them the biggest laughingstock in the dungeon.
Oh, you're back! I thought I had enough of you, but you're just in time for the jamboree! I do have one question first. What's your zodiac?
Oh no, this party bus to hell also believes in the zodiac. I wonder what they think of mud crabs. This is where I choose the best birth sign. That's right, the Atronach. After more bashing, smashing, and door dashing, it's finally time for the grand hour. We all get ambushed and the Emperor's plans come to fruition. Unfortunately, he talks to me one last time.
This is where I leave you. Take this necklace. It holds within my greatest power. The power to ratio someone on Twitter.com. Take it to my son's adoptive father who abandoned him. It is his fate to become the next blue checkmark.
That sounds like a truly awful power and an even worse fate.
Yeah, I primarily use it against right-leaning political figures to get confidence from fake internet points. It makes me feel like I'm right, and no one is allowed to disagree with me. Farewell, my friend.
Oh, looks like his self-force multiplying pact turned into an assassination. Well, that sucks for him. After the Emperor goes down to a single poorly placed blow from a toothpick, so sets in motion the plot that thickens, the thickening plot that continues to happen and thicken.
You've got a knack for being horrible at saving lives. First it was Renault, and then the Emperor? You're destined to fail, it seems.
Or maybe you failed to protect him since you're his guards, right?
Damn, that's depressing. You're right. I'm going to go and drink myself half to death.
What did that corpse fella mean by adoptive father anyway?
You mean Joffrey the crack monk? What about him?
Well, you see, I have to take this healing crystal amulet or whatever to the guy.
That's a good one. I wouldn't trust you to take an 8-ball out of a pool table. Oh, speaking of crack monks, pick your class. Scriptwriter Jack couldn't think of a funny joke for this part.
Fair, he's not a very funny guy, so I understand. This is the part where I trip and fall through each of the skill choices. So I choose magic specialization, luck and speed as my favorite attributes, and my 7 major skills are speechcraft, mercantile, blunt, acrobatics, sneak, heavy armor, and alchemy. Now I traverse the sewers, punching things as I go about my business. Goblins and rats seem to want nothing more than to eat the cheeseburgers between my muscle fibers. Too bad for them that I have the power of ragdoll fists, where they ragdoll when I fist them, but before too long I escape the icky yucky sewers of the most populous city in Cyrodiil. That means it's time for the first random wheel roll. A beautifully spectacular mod to get on the first go. Hilarity adds a bunch of funny haha spells. I think in order to properly test these spells out, I might as well join the arena. Before I can do any combat testing, I do some non-combat testing. There's a spell available called Free Apple. The apple is coated in every single poison you can possibly get your hands on, however. It is Edgar that gets to feel what it's like to drink gamer girl bathwater. Needless to say, he does not recover. Over at the arena, we meet Awin.
Hello, maggot balls!
Yes, hello, stereotypical verbally abusive drill instructor type.
You slimy seaweed skincare watermelon brand. You look like a donut with a hole punched out. Are you sure you have what it takes to even step out of this room, let alone fight another combatant?
Wouldn't a donut with the hole punched out just be a donut?
Question me again and I'll have your teeth checked by a proper dentist to ensure you do not have any cavities. Take this Raymond field protected. Make sure all of you weak points are covered. If they aren't, come back and I'll have a proper Raymond given to you, idiot.
I've never met someone who aggressively supports someone like this. Regardless, it's time for me to fight my first fight. The combatant I'm fighting is a Twitter warrior. She once ratioed Elon Musk for a spelling error. I try a spell I was given called Blast Off to Pluto. What I think the spell does is send the poor soul flying into the universe. What it actually does is shock everyone in a 10,000 foot radius of the original target, making the Imperial City the first ever recorded city of rotisserie chickens. Nevertheless, a slap like that slapped her so hard she is instantly cooked to perfection. I won't commentate every battle in the arena, but I certainly will mention each spell that I use. In the next fight, I summon a group of bandits to fight my combatant. However, she has no interest in fighting them, so instead I just frenzy the whole group and let them fight. Then when that doesn't work, I summon a bunch of boulders on her head. Somehow she survives even that, which is honestly incredible. There are now a bunch of boulders littering the arena, but it is what it is, so I just hit her with the Pluto lightning. I'm sure she'll wake up after that one. The next many combatants come and go. Some of them I force to get naked so I can fist fight them, others I drop more boulders on, and even some I force to teleport high into the sky only to watch them fall to their deaths mere seconds later. After several matches, I eventually reach the Bloodletter rank, and I decide to call it quits for the moment. I've had enough of the Wilhelm screams as I toss fleshy human-shaped forms through the air. Instead, I think I'm going to continue on with the main quest. As I'm walking to Wayne Priory, ready to do nefarious things to nefarious people, I get ambushed by a cat in fur armor.
Listen, man, I need some gold to feed my kids.
Sorry, fella, to the clouds with you. Anyway, on to Wayne Priory, where I can speak with Joffrey and figure out what to do with this special crystal necklace. I'll have you know I better not have to go to an overrun church and speak to some dude that's apparently related to the late Emperor Uriel Septim by paternal blood.
Hello there, my name's Joffrey. I've adopted more kids than I can count and abandoned even more of them. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm your DoorDasher. I've got this weird amulet that you ordered. Something about having the power to ratio people on Twitter or something like that.
Ah, the Amulet of the Queens. That's quite remarkable to hold, especially since only the Emperor's supposed to have it.
Yeah, right. I can believe that, but what on Tamriel am I supposed to do with it?
You have to take that to my adopted, now abandoned son Martin.
Oh, so it's just that easy then, right?
Yeah, he's the Emperor's son through paternal blood. He can be found in Kvatch. He's a priest of Akatosh there. Bring him back here and I'll re-adopt him, hell, if that's what he wants. I think it's what the Emperor would want, honestly.
Oh, great. I sure hope the church isn't overrun or it'll be the trifecta of my displeasure. Let's see if it is.
Stand back, citizen. This place is overrun.
Oh, great. All right, how can I help you?
You should head into the John cause of Oblivion itself to see if you can shut it down. I only ask you to do this so we don't have to.
With all these spells, I'm sure to succeed in closing this gate once and for all. That's exactly why I choose to use my bow. Eventually, I reach the main tower and get ready for the real miracle. Fist-fighting imps like a drunk British dude in a corner pub in a small town. Needless to say, I am not a drunk dude, nor am I British, thank God, nor am I in a corner pub in a small town. I'm an American in the medieval ages, so all it takes is the magical artifact known as the Sword of Self-Defense to put me in my place.
I'm just saying.
Before I can find this supposedly corny sausage dog mace, I'm going to put a pipe bomb in the sigil stone's nose. I make the rest of the tower look like a level in Temple Run if the weird-ass temple monkey spirit was actually a legion of demonic hellbeasts bent on anally upsetting an entire mortal realm. This means I can successfully grab the sigil stone, damning thousands of Dremora to their fate of never leaving home. Good luck, mystery gang.
Whoa, citizen! You actually did it! I didn't believe in you at all! And I was thinking I had to send my other men in to go and get you! Think, Akatosh, we can just sit around and get paid, while other people do our dirty work.
You know what? This place looks a little messed up. The feng shui is all off. I think it could use more boulders, actually. What do you think, Captain Savlian? Alright, time to meet this Martin fella.
Hey guys, welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play. My name is Martin Septim, and today I'll be talking to some guy who just walked up on me. I sure hope he doesn't try to challenge me to bed wars.
Ooh, that's tough. I could feel myself cringing listening to that. Anyway, Martin, I'm here to take you to a special amulet because apparently you're the bastard child of some woman in the late Emperor Palpatine.
Wow, that's pretty epic. The Emperor was assassinated, so that means I'd be next, right? Oh, the misery. Every single person is my enemy.
I wish I could go do some other things that don't make me want to keel over and die. Sadly, I'll have to keep talking to you throughout the rest of the game. Now all that's left to do is get Martin back to Wayne Priory. As I arrive, it seems that it's under attack by those same LARPers that assassinated the Emperor. It doesn't take much to dispatch them, just a few swings from my handy-dandy sword tool. As much as I'd like to talk to Joffrey again, I'll save that for much later when he's actually important. It turns out that these LARPers stole the Amulet of Queen from Joffrey's special box of very phallus-looking toys. It's quite unfortunate, but I'm glad they also took all the other toys too. I'd be horrified to look at what was in there. I've got to babysit the two numbskulls incapable of something so simple as getting on a horse and riding after me. This babysitting lasts until we reach Cloud Ruler Temple, where Joffrey announces Martin as the heir to the throne.
This is mad depressing. I was supposed to be the next 70k average YouTube streamer, Andy. Now all I get is that lousy necklace and a few followers in a building that smells like old people and stale bread.
Who knows, man? Maybe someday you'll end up killing yourself for the betterment of this land's future. You know, just like your father.
That sounds awful. I think I'm going to go inside and cry myself to sleep.
I gotta agree with the dialogue tree on this one. You're gonna be emperor.
Yeah.
After quote-unquote speaking to Joffrey, who seems to have no mouth but he really wants to scream, I have to go find that Baurus guy from the dungeons. Supposedly, there's a sneaky little bastard trailing him, so we're gonna get drunk and rough him up a bit. Anyway, I go by the corn dog mace, known only as the Dagwood dog. It has no textures, so it looks like a giant purple dildo. Enjoy, YouTube. Suffice to say, that's the funkiest part of my journey so far. Speaking of funk, I do believe it's time to deal with a hostile individual.
Oh, they sent you? Well, this isn't going to go very well at all. I shouldn't have gotten so drunk.
I don't know, I'm pretty good at making people cringe until their neurons are fried. I'm like a high-power microwave in a conspiracy theorist convention.
Whatever, man. I'm gonna get lucky tonight with that guy in the corner. Don't follow us.
But isn't that the... Oh, he's already leaving. Well, I should make sure to follow him just in case the spy tries to do anything. It turns out the spy is as he is meant to be. You know, right behind you type beat. He dons his armor, but that is truly no match for my ultimate weapon, the corn dog. The corn dog paralyzes anyone it hits and anyone standing within a few meters of the hit. So Baurus manages to get paralyzed a few times as well, but thankfully, with the help of the corn dog and a little bit of a swordy sword action, we managed to kill the spy lickety-split.
Wow, you saved my life. Maybe I was wrong about you. I'll have to let you in on my little secret.
What secret is that?
The LARPers that murdified the Emperor can't quite keep a secret too well, and they've got no bitches. So they're calling on the femboy god himself, Maroon's Big Al. This is what a lack of purpose does to a motherfucker.
So you're saying they're doing this just because they can?
Hey man, I'm not saying they're doing it because they can. They have to, or they won't get any pussy. Better they seek it out for some deranged lunatic Daedra than grill themselves over some shrimpy ass women.
I'm not really sure if that's a good idea.
That book you picked up has all the details involving this demon sex orgy thing they want to do. Don't read it, but definitely take it with you. Maybe someone with more of a degenerate background could. I'm a racist. Find an Argonian.
But I am an Argonian. Actually, I do have an idea. That's totally not because I've played this game a million times over or that the actual dialogue literally told me to see a woman named Tarmina twerking my way into the magical academy of the Imperial City, otherwise known as the Arcane University or the Wizardry School or the Black Magic School. I speak to Tarmina. She gives me a second hentai book and tells me to fuck off to some dingy back alley bookstore. This leads me all the way to the far lands of the Market District. Here I speak to a humble fellow about the other porn books in his collection. Sadly, the one I'm looking for is already pre-ordered. Something about a bonus purple book sleeve instead of a red one that the standard edition gets you. With a few tomfoolish threats, I managed to convince him to give me the book free of charge. Who is him? Oh, just the guy who pre-ordered it, the fucking pervert. With book in hand, Baurus and I then have to go to the local library. I don't remember any libraries being in the sewers, but that's supposedly where this book club is meeting, so I'll believe him. Long do the legs swing until we reach our destination, wherein Baurus meets with a baboon the size of a man to get a special edition version of Emergence. Yeah, I read that one, Baurus. You might not want to read it. But lo and behold, surprise! We're intruders and we've been lying this entire time. I bring everything back to Tarmina, who tells me that I have to study all 4 volumes that I've collected. My brain already hurts thinking about how to write a proper script with a decent storyline for a comedy-based YouTube video. So, to take a break from studying the worst possible form of text ever written, I decide it best to say screw it and help Kvatch again. Now this is more like it. Randomly forgetting my current quest in favor of doing just whatever interests me most in the moment. This is classic Skyrim random mod wheel shit. After several dozen days worth of forcing the Kvatch guard to await their heroic savior, I think we should probably take back the keep. I sure hope their count isn't dead or anything. That'd be so very tragic. I get to employ the use of my supersonic dildo once again. It's not exactly fair, but it does mean I won't experience death at... Oh, never mind that joke then. After much corn dogging and fiend flogging, the Kvatch guard and I managed to misconstrue the point of a gate and phase through the front door. While inside, the many uses of my magic go to waste. I don't shoot the magic goop any further than I could stick out my pinky while drinking tea. The reason that is such a low standard is because I don't drink tea. I'm not a British plebeian born into the throes of poor dentistry and savage nationalistic hatred of my wife during football season. This little journey through the city of success lands me in the sewer of failure as a fireball strikes my lizard-like nutsack. Thankfully, the woke Dremora make a single mistake in their socialistic grasp on my colon. They forget to kill the guards around me first. But yeah, the fight against this dinosaur means nothing when the Dagwood dog is so perfectly placed within my pocket's grasp. I can farm hate comments by simply paralyzing the larger of us 2 lizard combatants and swinging my shitty sword at him until he dies. Based and paralysis pilled if I do say so myself. With little else to do in the way of killing the less fortunate demons of hell, I return to the arena to finally get to my grand prize. It doesn't take very long to get through the rest of my matches. Nothing interesting happens until I reach the hero tier of the arena's official Patreon donor list. Did I say that nothing interesting happens until I reach the hero rank? Well, nothing interesting happens even then. Yeah, I know you come to the arena to see something interesting. By the end of it all, I decide to say screw it and just give the grand champion a bunch of calipers. So he's got like 400 calipers in his pocket when I zap him with so much lightning that Rick Riordan might make another Percy Jackson book about it. He basically becomes superconductive in mere seconds, falling to the likes of Sir Slaughter like a sheep's wool to the cotton shears. With the arena all signed and sealed, I can finally accept the adoring fan under my personal employment.
Wow, finally, a chance to join your adventuring business. I have my resume right here.
This is just a bunch of pictures of your face.
No, see, you have to flip the pages just like this. It also helps if you turn the song on.
Now that Tarmina has finished telling me the ins and outs of every page in those books she studied, after telling me to study them in the first place, she gives me the answer to the riddle. There's a picture of Cyrodiil on this grave in the Imperial City. When the sun shines on it just right, it'll give me a map to the macrowave of destiny. I figured out that the adoring Gigafan is actually pretty bad. He fights people with his fists and has hardly any health despite being level 15. The best he could do is probably survive a kiss from his dearest lover. Even then he might keel over from a heart attack. After all of this walking, I can finally reach the place of places, the Cave of Caves, the Mythic Dawn of Mythic Dawns. If I remember correctly, I'm here to fight a bunch of porn addicts, or maybe read some books. I guess the real reason wasn't ever really that clear in the first place. Oh dear, it seems I've walked in on some kind of serious cult worship. I thought this was just a LARPing guild.
Praise be the word of Dagon. Hear me now, for our purpose draws true and clear. We are that which lights the darkness with shadow. They see us as fools, believers in the Rule 34. But Dagon is more than that. He is purpose realized. He is fate. He is the ultimate end. I shall leave you to seek him out, and this world shall be free of all hatred. It shall be pleasure incarnate.
Then that guy walks through a pretty funny portal. And you know what else is pretty funny? Shocking everyone to death. However, in doing something known as murdering an innocent being using the funny lightning skill 3000, I appear to have caught the attention of someone mysterious. I know exactly who that is, but I'm not telling you. That would betray the mystery part. While fighting my way out of these caves, I get treated exactly the way I treated everyone else. A taser with the power of the sun strikes me, causing my heartbeat to become so irregular it starts playing Radiohead songs. Finally, after however long it's been of just walking around doing nothing, I can finally sleep to level up.
The delightful smell of innocent blood seeps over you. You've given in to the oldest desire in history. It truly is beautiful.
Whoa, dude, your nose is so big it can be considered a jump scare in and of itself.
Take this blade, my zealous life stealer. Slay an innocent man named Rufio, and I shall grant you a true look into the darkness of a cold-blooded murderer.
Did he even register my insult? Regardless of that fact, my whole reason for getting to that cave was to get a neat little book. This book is supposedly a limited edition collection piece filled with the weirdest internet lingo. Words like Zaist, Janny, FPBP, and things of that sort. Once I get back to Cloud Ruler Temple, Joffrey is a little too anxious about the end of the world to be patient.
I was wrong to do what I have always done. I decided to never abandon Martin ever again. I will be here until the very end.
Oh, okay, that's great, but I've got a heavy-ass book in my backpack that's starting to weigh me down. I can already feel myself getting a foot or two shorter. I don't really want to be a manlet, so excuse me.
Righto, amigo. You should get over to Martin. While you're in there, tell him to look at the memes I sent him. I found a cool Twitter account called Actual Schizo Posts. This Alex Jones guy is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, sure, I'll totally do that. Never. Got him.
I've been thinking after more of dropping friend, perhaps it is best for me to stick to the path I have been given. Social media expansion is a volatile market, and truth be truth, I'm not cut out for it.
I'm surprised you didn't use any Zoomer lingo in that entire sentence. Regardless, I've got this book for you to decipher. Just don't lick your fingers in between each page turn. I think they're all covered in fentanyl.
Damn, that is surely a dangerous piece of work. Fine, I will decipher whatever code lies within this book. If this is my fate, then I will let it play out as necessary. Pain before pleasure, work before play, am I right?
Why'd you get so serious all of a sudden? Whatever the reason, I think it's time for some spy work. One thing to note is that while on the way down to the mountain to check on these so-called spies, adoring Chad just kinda trips and falls. This kills him, so I have to resurrect him. This is what I was talking about earlier. He can't even handle a small 60-foot drop. How is he supposed to stand against the gates of Oblivion and the hedonistic tenets of the Demon Lord? While seeking out these monstrous spies, I get a notification that one of them dies before I can even find them. I have no idea what killed him, but I'm scared to run into it, frankly. The other one, though, dies by my laser blaster hand. Surprise, those spies were Mythic Dawn members. That certainly wasn't obvious by evidence of one of them summoning Daedric armor to attack me with. With the proof I need to beat the porn addict allegations, I can return to Joffrey and then to Martin.
Hello again. I've successfully deciphered a piece of the book. It is awful to get through. The writing's all over the place, and there's no real plot. But I found the first clue. It speaks of a place called, Paradise, where hedonistic desires are all that matter to the people of the world.
So what does that mean for me?
I can open a portal to this place, but I need something first. Find me the credit card of a Daedric Lord. Make sure the 3 numbers are on the back. With that, I can decipher more of the book and figure out how to open our world to this disgustingly described haven of debauchery.
Oh, that's easy. I'll get right on that. Well, you see, before I do anything drastic like scamming literal gods out of their hard-earned money, I think it's time to do some side quest stuff. Unfortunately, I have to bring you news. I already did one of the Mages Guild recommendations. It was far earlier, so I'm going to insert it here.
will give you a wonderful written recommendation if you find my cat. He is disappearing.
Maybe he's invisible downstairs.
That is not possible. Magic does not exist.
Let me go and check downstairs real quick. Hey lady.
Yes, did you find him?
He really was invisible downstairs.
Oh, yes, I guess he really was. Thank you.
Wait. And that was the story of how I taught a magical wizard the secrets of magical spells. I better get to work before I can process my magical inability to press the C button over and over again. So I start with the Anvil's Mages Guild. In this place, everything is super bright, so when looking upon the lady who owns the place, I am blinded. Now, I know I said I started with the Anvil's Mages Guild, but truth be told, you're watching a Jack Sun video. Intuition flushes itself from my brain as I get hit by an ADHD trigger known as the Fighters Guild next door. This looks like a fun thing to do while I forget the fact that the Mages Guild exists for a few hours.
Well, if it isn't the superstar hero in Kavach. You know, my cousin lived there for about 3 months. Suddenly it started talking about demon summoning rituals and some god of pleasure. Come to think of it, right after he started talking about all that shit, that Oblivion gate opened and he suddenly disappeared. Very strange timing.
Right, well, I want to join the Fighters Guild so I can die more often. It's great entertainment to see the weird or wacky memes in between the deaths.
You're in. Now, if you really care about the whole Fighters Guild thing, you can go and fight some rats or lions or women or something. I don't remember what the contract said.
Alright, so I go and fight some fucking rats. Wait a second, that's not a rat. To make a short quest even shorter, it turns out that there's an Argonian lady supplying the rats in a crazy lady's basement with leftover meat from the rotten pantry. She didn't even realize she was attracting mountain lions to this woman's basement. Next, I have to take care of a particularly serious break-in. Why is this break-in so damn serious? Because I'm the one dealing with it. Everything I do is serious, especially when I wait for like 12 damn hours standing in the store, staring at the merchandise with a hungry gaze, only to get fucking decked into, well, I'm already in Oblivion.
Well then, hey, get a load of this.
Unfortunately, I forgoed to hit record after loading the game again, so I slayed the bandits without anyone seeing it. So I nab a free $100 just for, I don't know, loading up the game. After collecting my new and also very epic weapons, it's time to rendezvous with a few adventurers who are stupid enough to enter the goblin mines without weapons. In truth, they were ambushed, but being ambushed by goblins is so pathetic that I will simply alter reality to fit my own. My Keyblade makes short work of these pesky little shitters. Once I get my unionized pay, I get to meet with the guild leader and her lack of electrons. Yeah, that was a better joke on paper than it was being read aloud.
Oh yes, you must be my son's little delusion. You're looking for the concentrated power of the sun kept within a bottle, aren't you? Speak to my bestest friend forever to do some things for me first, and I can give it to you.
Okay.
Who the fuck are you? Are you another skinny schlumpkin bumpkin after the Fighters Guild leadership? If you want a job, go find this schmuck who hates his life and drinks it away. Gods, I wish that were me.
What a strange pair of people. Good thing is that at least I know he's in Skingrad. Now, I know I said I would forget the Mages Guild for a few hours. When I said that, I meant in-game hours, because I beeline straight for the Skingrad Mages Guild to start the recommendation quest. This one in particular involves finding somebody lost within a cave somewhere. I don't really know. Truthfully, it sucks to be him, but hey, it's back to the Fighters Guild stuff. When I speak to Maglier, I have to complete his little questy-westy for him. He's too much of a pussy to even do it. So I beat up some bad guys with my Keyblade again as adoring Chad dies once more and get back to business. Diving into the caves of the local library, I'm in search of a rare book known as a personal journal. It's surrounded by the skeletons and floating ghost skulls of the many librarians caught speaking too loudly during the Dewey Decimal System lecture. Upon finding the journal, I take it back to Modrin the McJagger. Regrettably, I cover for the Maglier guy because I'm a whittle too nice. The next mission is pretty snooze-worthy. I have to stop some drunk Fighters Guild members from causing a scene. Whoa! Crazy. I find out about a particular guild called the Blackwood Company that's attempting to rout the Fighters Guild. While still in Coral, I decide to switch it up and do something nobody ever expects me to do. I'm going to start the Coral Mages Guild recommendation quest. This one is as simple as going to a location, picking up a book about fingering people or something, and then giving it to the lizard wizard in charge without regret. The next mission includes some thieves and the ugliest man alive. This ugliest man alive just so happens to have lost a particularly important heirloom of his. So I do the American cop thing and no-knock raid these poor bastards with my explosive bullets. Unfortunately, this is where the adoring Chad and I must part ways. During this quest, he started getting stuck in walls and teleporting into the gray zone beyond our mortally comprehensible boundaries of reality. My next goal is a little village on the river. It's a beautiful little place located in southern Florida within the Everglades. All I can do is half expect an alligator to leap from the water to death roll me until I become a fruit by the foot. Bien Emilion asked me to obtain her father's sword and armor to pay off a special debt. I do so very easily. Then once I return, she thanks me for that which is owed to her.
You're now a babysitter. The guild leader has a stupid child. He's got a serious issue that you'll have to see to believe. He's also a coward who needs to be taught how to do adventurer things.
Oh, hey, that's an easy one. Well, let's see what—
Shh. The shape-shifting beings within my walls have woken up. Oh, Adra. Oh, fuck. Help me. They're looking into my brainstem, picking out the scrumptious red popcorn.
Oh, that is certainly a serious issue indeed.
This pulse of lifetime emanates from within the shattered walls of hell. It is strict and uncaring in the unannounced pregnancy of the most evil of creatures. The world shatters as the floodgates of a temporary happiness burn humanity to the ground in search of addiction. Don't you see?
Well, I hope your funny words can help you fight some trolls, because that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it very efficiently at that. Unfortunately, it seems that stupid cannot be cured by a dose of forced bravery. Double unfortunately, it seems that forced bravery is not an excuse to swing a key around like a sword and call it a weapon. Excuse my inability to survive, and especially excuse Viranus' inability to breathe without double backflipping into an unconscious state. If there were a contest for who could say some variation of my next mission the most, I'd be sure to win, because my next mission involves a little Maglier once more. While on my way to Mr. Traitor himself, I also pick up the Braville Mage's recommendation quest. Maglier informs me that I can do the job he abandoned if I want. I do want, so I can get my next advancement. The quest involves finding imp penises to give to some freaky lady. Anyway, the lady gets her imp penises or colons or bladders or whatever they may be. Now it's time for the real fun part of the Fighters Guild questline: conspiracy and espionage.
Thank you for coming to my private domicile to speak about incredibly illegal things that will do against a particularly powerful enforcement agency that definitely is not the FBI or the CIA.
Hey, no problem. I love me some secret spy meetings. You got any chocolate milk?
No, who drinks milk past their infancy? Anyways, I need you to go after the Blackwood Company with me. I was once sent to investigate their leader. Unfortunately, they got wind of this and found my home in a nearby forest. They snuck through the woods with ghillie suits under the assumption that I was doing illegal things in their twisted sense of superiority. My son discovered one of the men and shot him, fearing for his life at the presence of invaders on my personal private land. They shot him dead. Then they shot my wife and my dog too. I escaped with my life after they pussied out. Fucking glowies. I need you to help me find this bastard and bring him to my own righteous justice.
I'm in. Say no more. You're my favorite NPC so far. And so we adventure into the dungeons together, killing rats left and right. Alas, this place is naught but a dead end. There is no glowing lizard man standing within this cathedral of mystery and wonder. Modron does have quite an odd way to tell me this information, however. Then we gotta go to some other cathedral of crystal and totalitarianistic control. This place is actually where the man in question lies, or at least he stands there. I do my best to kill him, but unfortunately, my Keyblade is no match for his incredibly illegal connections to world governments via total control. With the help of some otherworldly magic known as stealth, the Blackheart fellow dies. Thankfully, with this quest over with, it gives me the grand old chance to collect my wondrously glowing lightsaber. I could take all of them since they weigh nothing, but that's a little overkill. I'll just take the green one-handed one first. Now I gotta kill some escaped convicts. Boom, bam, bop, bow. That was easy. Oh, now I have to help some lady find a Daedric shrine? Alright, well, here it is. Let's get to the fun stuff. Stop giving me boring shit. During the next mission, it's an unfortunate revelation when I find that Viranus the Schizo is dead. He was slain by the Blackwood Company, spoiler alert, for his attempts to stop them from existing. He was given the good old JFK treatment. Alright, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just going to narratively skip the next several missions. The gist of it is that I do some more contracts, the guildmaster finds out that I couldn't protect her itsy witsy widow baby boy, and I get demoted for no reason. So I decide to do some more Mages Guild stuff. That stuff only involves the Shaden Hall Mages Guild, where I drown myself in a well to save a useless ring for a necromancer. You see though, I'm an Argonian. I do not drown. Falcar is a moron for thinking this would be a deadly prank. I also managed to find some black soul gems in his downstairs dresser drawer. Naughty naughty, Mr. Falcar, what do you have to say for yourself?
Nuke Radio. we make your eardrums bleed.
I don't know what that means, but okay. So that's another Mages Guild recommendation out of the way, 3 of 7. Without doing any more Mages Guild recommendations, I can do some other stuff. You know, the usual. Save an Orc Duchess from a bunch of giant ogres, die in Oblivion from an incredibly powerful attack being redirected at me, and
Good news, good news. I found someone who is legally non-existent, so technically it's not legally wrong to torture him for information. I think it best you find him and bring him back here. Just don't hurt him. I wouldn't want the guards to think something was wrong.
Wow, that's devilishly devious, Seymour. Methinks I'll have to have a good old rope-binding chat with our fellow scaly individual. So after scallywagging a little too hard, I think it's best to plunder the nearest cave for its greatest booty. That booty be a human life. Or a lizard man life. I digress. I murder his friends and beseech his freedom. He so graciously comes along with us, and I lead him back to Modron's little shit shack and begin an interrogation.
Well, hello there, sir. Would you care for...
Oh, fuck, you're British!
Michael! Help me! Ah! Oh, that kind of felt good for a second there.
Whew. I almost spoke to a British for longer than 0.05 seconds. Thankfully, with what little conversation I had with that person, Modron was able to determine exactly what I had to do in order to continue the quest. He asked me to join the Blackwood as a double agent, and so I do. It turns out that the Blackwood company is using super LSD to induce hallucinations in people to finish jobs. Want to know how I know that? Well, do you recall that one time I mentioned that BN lady? You know, the one I got the sword and shield for? Well, the super LSD causes me to see the people of this little riverside town as goblins. And as you know, everyone who takes LSD despises goblins. This quest is honestly worse than, like, everything you do during the Dark Brotherhood questline, especially when you run into Bienne's house and kill a goblin that was standing next to her bed just like she was. Well, with how badly I beat her face in, at least there's hardly anything left to really bury. You'll need a few coffins for that, so yeah. Let's just skip forward to where I make an attack on the Blackwood HQ to destroy the super LSD tree. That's a good idea. I do spend some time giggling and kicking my feet as I fuck with the members of Blackwood though. One particular Blackwood member becomes my special little science experiment. I beef him up beyond all known recognition, giving him every spell in the damn book. Sadly, this means one single hit from him is enough to send my soul to Jesus same-day delivery.
Oh no, I don't understand this. Grilled cheese Obama sandwich.
The early 2010s were filled with random edgy shit, weren't they? After just saying fuck it and cleaning out the Blackwood innards, I reached the LSD tree in the basement. With a little bit of your recommended daily dose of iron, the tree burns to the ground. Then Magleer gets mad at me. Blah 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 blah, shut up, you're annoying.
Thank the foil! You actually destroyed the CIA! I mean the Blackwood Company! Hopefully you don't find yourself driving through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas on November 22nd, 1963. You certainly find yourself in a mind-blowing experience if so.
That's kind of disconcerting. I think I'm gonna talk to that guildmaster lady now.
You're the one who couldn't protect my eternally prophetic son. You don't deserve the power of the sun contained within a bottle. However, you saved us, so perhaps I'll let you see a smidge of it. A crumb of sun, a biscuit's worth of solar energy. Alongside the extra shitty vision, you'll also become our new guildmaster. Congratulations, moron.
I'm going to speed through the recommendation stuff. Like, these quests are so remarkably easy to do that I'm just gonna show you some highlights, I guess. Before I started, I had already done the Bruma, Shadenhall, and Coral recommendations, so all that's left are the Breville, Leoween, Skingrad, and Anvil quests. Then I can finally enter the university.
Who are you? Oh, I think I know your name. I've gotten recommendations from every guild hall to not let you in, but I'll go against their better judgment and say screw it. Welcome to the Arcane University.
Awesome! Where do I begin?
Well, if you're going to join the Warcrime Guild, you have to have your own staff of drone strikes. Head on over to this cave that is definitely not full of necromancers. There, you'll get the proper components to kill innocents in a country full of brown people.
That certainly sounds like a horrible war crime. So, given I have to do this to continue the quest, I check out this cave of the Red Cross. Oh no, it looks like necromancers have taken over this cave. Morally speaking, I feel no shame in dropping a fat man on them in the shape of a giant lightning bolt. I'm sure if they were really that good at necromancy, they'd just resurrect themselves out of the situation.
Shadow Wizard Buddy Gang, we love casting spells.
No way, so do I. That is if my fists are considered spells the way I'm throwing them around. I digress. I get the stupid stick and move on. When I get back to the university, I have to actually have my staff enchanted. I make a staff of frost because I never use frost spells. That's going to keep up because I never use the staff, so it's entirely pointless to even make.
Good news, new guy. I have a new job for you. I'll be straight out. Skin Grad's count is a vampire. That has no bearing on this quest. It's just something I have to get off my chest. Get a book from him. It's something about, what's the name? Kama Sutra?
Alright, so war crimes and sex. Once I arrive in Skingrad, the Count's assistant, or whatever he is, informs me that I must meet the Count outside near a little farm. Gotta be at 2 a.m. as well, when it's really dark and nobody can see us. I wonder why that is. But once 2 a.m. arrives, all I get is a lousy shirt that says I ruined my circadian rhythm and all I got was an extremely sharp dildo to the throat. Yes, that is quite literally what the weapon is called. Well, 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 look what I have here. A roof! These necromancer idiots don't even know what hit them. Anyway, I kill these necro-nymphos real fast.
Good lord, what happened out here? You'd have to be a sub-IQ moron incapable of even breathing to think I'd meet you out here. Let alone hire a guy with a massive weapon he calls a dildo on his back. At least I know you aren't one of those weird DJ tag guys that resurrect their dead wives just for one more night of luck. Too bad most of them are so far down the incel rabbit hole that even their undead servants want nothing to do with them in bed. Take the fucking book and tell your council to stop putting cameras in my bedroom. I'm a vampire. My dick can't even get hard enough to jerk off, let alone join some necrophilia cult.
Wow, he was quite the talker. I might even say he seemed dead serious. Alright. Well, after I returned to Raminus with the news that the vampire guy is in charge of an entire city wants nothing to do with being an undead servant to some literal who, I get to do another quest. This one is both the most boring and most memorable quest in the entire game. I remember having to investigate this Iliad ruin or whatever and being unable to properly solve the magic puzzle. I didn't know there was an entire box of scrolls that would literally help me with this quest. Of course, I figured it out when I played it again in my smarter years, but that's not really saying much given how low the bar was. My goal here was an ancient helmet, and I'm back in the Imperial City. Next up, I'm talking to Tarmina again. She was the one who pointed me in the direction of a very serious set of Japanese porn manga. Now she's pointing me in the direction of something known as the Necromancer's Moon. What is wrong with her? First it was drawn ass, and now it's undead ass. Regardless of my wants and desires, I have to travel to some cave named the Dark Fissure to prepare myself to look at one. Ooh, the name Dark Fissure doesn't really give me any hope that it's not an actual ass. What an awful state of affairs I'm in then. While I'm on the way to the darkest crack known to man, I am discovered by a raider. What else he discovers is how flimsy my mage-like body is. 1d6 hit points at first level, my ass.
I can't wait to go back home and see my mom.
I don't know about you, but I'm suddenly in the mood to actually commit these so-called war crimes. Alright, that's it. I'm going to genocide the necrophiles. While at Le Black Ravine, I wait outside until I get my chance to participate in the American military games. Oops. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to interrupt your resurrection spell that's illegal across Cyrodiil. Well, it couldn't be helped. Back to the guild. After turning in my quest, it's time to speak to the Archmage for some other quests. Hopefully I won't be dealing with any more of these shitposting weirdos.
Did you know that a group of cats is called a clouder? So if you mix a group of cats into a cream mixed soup with potatoes, clams and smoked haddock, you'd have a clouder chowder.
That is a very funny fact. What does it mean in regards to the extreme necromancer threat though?
Alright, it has nothing to do at all. I just thought it was funny. You see, I'm a bit of a funny guy. A wee bit of a jokester. So imagine my shock when I found out that our goofy little double agent was found out about and then immediately put into danger. It was something about nuclear bombs or something like that.
Would you like me to save them?
Aye. Do a zany little wacky move and eviscerate the people trying to put the fear of Julianos in him.
Whoa, that's a little more than zany or wacky. I'd argue and say that's kinda quirky. So, well, off I go to commit goofy crimes. I'm going to give you a spoiler alert to this section. Their informant is dead. And what's worse is that he's not just dead, but he's undead. He's a thrall to the maggots now. My next quest involves that vampire king again. Oh, I get it now. A vampire that's the leader of a city under the protection and political affiliation creation of the Empire. He's a Count Vampire. Okay, I got it. It's a Count Chocula reference.
Oh shit, you scared me. I didn't think that was possible at this stage of my life. Regardless, your council asked me to same-day ship some juicy gossip. You have to prove to me that you're worth the information. Kill some vampires and deal with some vampire hunters. This isn't going to be a Twilight situation.
Okay, so I go about my business emotionally harming every 30-year-old mom in the year 2008. Admittedly, I don't know many famous vampire characters. I kill the Cullens, Count Dracula, Nosferatu, Laszlo, Nandor, Nadia. That's all I got off the top of my head. I also convinced some vampire hunters that they're entirely useless, hunting vampires and they can't even find them in the first place.
Good, good. You've done as you were asked. I have the information you seek, and I appreciate you not asking for a simple, stupid little book this time. You see, there is something coming. Manamako has spawned in, and he's cranking 90s.
Ooh, that certainly is not very good news. And you know what? Hannibal even agrees that it's bad news. Manamarco the Worm King with the real and true necromantic pump. How truly awful. So you know what? Just because this has shaken me to my entire core, I think it's time for some Thieves Guild.
Wow. You want to be an epic thief. That's awesome. Let me explain the rules of your entry test. You all passed the very first epic test of the Thieves Guild. I'll be real with you three. I didn't expect so many gamers to try and join our Discord server. Perhaps if you do me a favor, I will announce the real winner.
I submitted my application 4 months ago.
Whoever brings me the primest, most delectably tasteless Discord meme, filled with references to Sigmas, fat Discord mods, maybe a couple of slurs even, will be crowned the newest member of this server. The rest will be banned for 1 week.
Okay, seems easy enough. I just have to beeline for the damn place so this little elf lady doesn't beat me. You see though, I have no fear when it comes to breaking and entering, so I can grab the worst possible meme ever right out from under this lady's nose.
Wow, that meme is absolutely awful. It's both ironic and severely unfunny. Welcome to the Thieves Guild.
Hooray, I'm in! You see, this is going to go by pretty fast because most of the Thieves Guild quests involve stealing shit and then selling it to a fence. No, not a merchant indulging in stolen goods, but a real, actual metal fence. So after being a thieving little shitter, stealing socks from the dryer to make people go batshit insane, it's time to actually do a quest. And my first quest is the most 1776 American shit I've ever seen. I have to steal tax documents because the homeless aren't given their proper dues. While on my way to the handy dandy quest marker, I watch as a guard tears off his ear and hands it to me. Yeah, thanks a lot, Van Gogh. What am I gonna do with this? Anyway, I do indeed yoink the greatest sploink ever made and give these homeless dorks their due representation. I guess that is to say they don't get any. I won't be describing my fencing techniques, that'll only get me kicked out of the sword fight competition, so I'll jump between quests pretty fast. Armand tasked me with finding a beautiful bust of some lady that got murdered or died or something. There is a neat little trick to this quest. You wanna know what it is? The crypt is haunted. You wanna know something else? The bust is in that haunted crypt. This is where the funny little tactic known as stealth comes in. I just sneak in, yoink the bust, and leave before any scary ghosts can shit my pants for me. However, when I return to Armand, there are big bad soldiers tromping around the waterfront. The little elf lady named Methridel tells me that I was just a pawn in a little game of cat and mouse. There was a traitor that tipped off the guards that would be stealing this bust. Thankfully, my being bait worked and I can successfully grope the bust in the traitor's house. Place the bust. The captain of the guard even falls for my trolling. Before I do any other missions, I take a break to check out that lead I was given so long ago. You know, that one guy in the inn that I have to kill with a specific blade in order to join an assassin's group? So I sneak up on the resident sleeper and prepare myself. One swing of this blade and a little bit of a nap and... oh, he's not here. I guess I can try another bed somewhere, just take a nap and...
So you did it! You have succeeded in the task that I have given you. Look upon the true clothing of a murderer and relish in the joyous feeling in your heart as the speaker of the third leg you are.
Okay, alright, no, not happening. You look positively awful in those robes, and I absolutely refuse to do anything involving someone that wears clothes with an anime woman orgasming on them, especially like 100 of them. I now make my grand return to the Mages Guild after Hannibal had to think for a few days.
Aha, so that's where you were. You were in the forest of Vietnam, doing something I'm sure won't make humanity hate you some several decades later. I must ask you to check in with Bruma. I haven't heard anything from him in quite a while, so I fear for their...
He's probably invisible downstairs.
What?
Oh, sorry. I just had flashbacks to a flashback sequence. Okay, so off to Bruma I go. Once I walk in, shit gets real. Everything and everyone is dead, and those who were dead prior to this place burning down are actually alive again to destroy destroy everyone. Oh well, sucks to suck, I guess. What else sucks to suck is that I personally find myself dying as well. I guess it's simply fate to be stuck in these halls for the rest of eternity.
Every day is arm day, sir.
Ooh, after collecting my special new magical abilities, I return to Bruma to figure out what happened. Sadly, my second go doesn't go as planned either, so I die again. That's it. Dispatching the skeletons with lightning is easy enough, so mega taser time. What's not easy is meeting another one of those weirdo necromancers.
Call the fire department. We just nuked the building.
Sure, I don't know, Petrificus Totalis and all that shit. Now I can just punch her to death for a bit. After I kill her, I suddenly get jump scared by a cat man. I remember him. He's got some pretty simple words for me.
Hey, I was invisible in the corner this time. Remember me? Yeah, I'm pretty traumatized by what I just saw.
Well, tell me about it, my old friend. I want to hear everything that haunts your nightmares for tonight and the rest of time.
By golly, I saw him. He was like a normal elf, but he sucked a guy's dick before he killed him. Then he left.
Are you saying dick sucking is not normal? What if they were homies, bro?
What? No, I didn't mean it like that. I mean, I don't know how to explain it. Oh wait, I got it wrong. He sucked his dick after he killed him.
Wait, you said he left after he sucked the dead dude's dick? Are you telling me you watched him the whole time? That's kind of fucked up in its own regard. I think I'll leave you to be your own strange self. Well, I guess I should tell Mr. Archmage about this discovery. I'm sure it's very pertinent information. Whenever Mr. Lecter requires some thought and counsel with the council, I just do the average Thieves Guild necessities until time catches up with me. My first quest back from the early thief tirement requires me to find a neat little ring. It's been stolen, oh no, by thieves. Oh god, the thief in question is our best buddy Amusei, who got one line of dialogue earlier in the script. He certainly did steal the ring. Apparently it was stolen as well and was once owned by the Countess Alessia, so I'm just going to go and get it back. It takes some sneaking and some invisibility plus sneaking, but I managed to yoink the ring after the Countess falls asleep. I even managed to skate by some sensually strolling guards in the process. Remarkably, it appears that the dumbass guard captain Hieronymus Lex is still causing trouble. I have to steal the Archmage's ice staff from his quarters in the Arcane University in order to get him off of our trail. Thanks to my status in the Mages Guild, I literally just have to walk in and take it and put a note in the nearby dresser. That was quite possibly the easiest quest I've ever done. Regardless, I can spy on Mr. Lex until he deems it necessary to leave the waterfront and return to the many hundreds of posts and the... Damn! He's getting his strut on. Damn! Who knew Hieronymus Lex had hips so truthful? On to more Mages Guild stuff. I have to collect two different items that have been stolen by the dumbest mages this side of Tamriel. One is the Necromancer's Amulet, the other is the Bloodworm Helmet. Let's get this over with. The Bloodworm Helmet is first. It's in a fort in the middle of a swamp. I'm gonna be real, this place is nothing compared to the power of my M16 assault rifle. I'm getting Nom flashbacks wandering a swampy land that is so mysterious to me. A few bloody riots later, I can finally die.
My name is Gabriel Ultrakill, yo!
Huzzah! I have been gifted the armor of Christ. Well, it's actually Tyrael's armor from Diablo, but saying it's the armor of Christ sounds a lot more based, and not in the niche internet community of racist and anti-Semites way either. Well, good news. Outside of becoming closer to God in a video game, I get the Bloodworm Helmet. I also get a hold of the Necromancer's Amulets after a bout of fighting with some rogue mages. Being the goody two-shoes I am, there's only one stop left after this.
Jeez, oh wowzers, you did such a good job getting these things back. You're a good neighbor to us. Unfortunately, there's something important I must ask of you to do. You see, that Shadenholm mage Falcar betrayed us and is making some black tar heroin in some ruins. A few battle mages are awaiting your command to destroy everyone involved. Wait, was it heroin or jewelry? I forget.
Well, I've got very good news. We are not dealing with black tar heroin. I've also got some bad news, sadly. We are in fact dealing with black soul gems. After commanding the battle mages to take their places, I have to chase Falcar. Holy shit, he's fast. Wait up, bro. Damn it, now I have to trek my way into that dank-ass ruin to get his soul gem.
This song is a war crime.
Whoa, I forgot that I can skip ahead in Premiere Pro. You scared me, bro. Just give me the soul gem and I'll move on.
Get ready to enter the battle zone. It's a smoked out nuke party.
Does that mean what I think it means? Oh, okay, yes it does. Too bad at this point I actually got up to help my girlfriend with something as the dialogue ended. So I fucking died.
Just say it.
Tell me why you treat me differently than all the other students. Because you're black!
Well, a lightsaber should do it. Yep, it definitely does. Alright, bye Falcar's body. I'll see you whenever, I guess. Something weird happens after I return with the Black Soul Gem. The Archmage claims me to be the penultimate Mahjong player, then sounds himself with the gem. This results in his soul being transferred into it, letting me fight the Worm King properly without risking turning into one of his undead thralls. So a cave and a half later, I have Mana Marco in my sights. This time, I'm going to—
Smoking is bad for your health. Especially when it's your own flesh you're smoking.
Oh, how did I get here so fast? Well, whatever the reason, I guess it's time to fight the Worm King and send him to the worms, I guess. I elect to stupefy him and then whack him with a weaponized broom over and over. This goes on until he dies because the King of Worms is nothing more than a scaredy cat. And shit, with that, I'm now the Archmage. My first order is to abandon the university and continue the Thieves Guild questline. So a long time ago, I had gotten information from Amusei about a stolen ring. As it so happens, Amusei managed to get himself all locked up in the city of Skingrad, and I have to get him out. Well, no I don't. My actual job is to find a missing guildmate. He sort of got himself caught by some freaky dark elf lady who cut him up and murdered him. Amusei is just the guy who saw it all. That was an easy mission, and frankly, a lot of these Thieves Guild missions are pretty easy. So I think it's best if I just skip to the juicy bits with the Grey Fox. What was once 16 pages deep into this chapter before I split it up into 2 acts, and I'm finally getting to the end of the Thieves Guild. Frankly, I'm partial to just speeding through this, but the Grey Fox is a significant character to the Thieves Guild story, so may as well let him cook.
Me hearty, you be fighting me quick. I be the Grey Fox, and I have one single important task for ye right now. Seek out a stone found deep within a crypt. This crypt be home of the blind moth priests, readers of the Elder Scroll.
Why are you a pirate? Aren't you just like a thief?
Bro, just go along with it. Go get the damn stone. I'm putting on the accent next time we have a talk together, alright?
Oh, so it was just a fake accent. I do love some big lies and tall tales, so I'm all for it. I'll see you whenever. The reason I say whenever is because I have no idea how long it'll take me to deal with some blind priests. Sure, they're blind, but I'm also very smelly. The tragic part about this situation is that despite my best efforts, I still trigger the moth priests to chase me. Thankfully, that monster mod I added a long time ago ended up adding some new undead creatures. So those moth priests, responsible for reading the Elder Scrolls, die at the hands of some dead legionnaires. All that's left to do is nab the stone and maneuver my way out, hoping never to fall victim to these deadly blind people. You see, these people aren't just blind either. No, they're Bethesda blind. So once they are alerted to my presence, they are perfectly capable of seeing me.
Yar, good. You be quite the compatriot on this journey. I need ye to grab me a nice little arrow next. It's called the Arrow of Extrapolation. Go find it and celebrate a job well done with a few pints of liquor.
I certainly won't drink the liquor, but I'll get the Arrow of Extradition. So, on my way to the next location. Wow, that was easy. This area is filled with 2 important things. Well, 3 if you count the arrow. The first is the presence of very evil mages vying for my personal destruction. The second is the arrow, I guess, but the third is the most important. You see, the third thing is my personal destruction. Yeah, I died to another giant sharp dildo.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream.
Yar har, matey. Ye finally be getting here. I have a task for ye that requires the utmost attention. See, me and me mateys have found the location of the great booty of a Spring-Heeled Jack. I be needing it for me final heist. Forget this. Just go and do something about it. Alright? This accent is getting tiresome.
Alright, sure, that's pretty simple actually. I just have to go to a tomb, read a diary about some tomb-based lies, and then kill a vampire man for his wonderfully useless boots. Simple as that, might I say. Simple as that.
Okay, I'll be real. I'm not doing the damn pirate voice anymore, man. My roleplay partner decided to bail on our most recent session. I'm a little bit pissed off. You can do the heist for me instead. I gotta go jerk off. Relieve some stress, you know?
A little too much personal information there, buddy, but alright. I guess I'm going on a big heist. What am I stealing? Well, I'm stealing an Elder Scroll, of course. That was a stupid question to even ask, dear viewer. All it takes is a few important steps. The first step is to fast forward through all of the other steps while you watch me get to the final portion of the quest. Unfortunately, there was a moment where I tried to fight a lich. Let's just say the Master of Undeath has proven to also be a Master of Death. After successfully stealing the Elder Scroll, I return to the Grey Fox, who refuses to speak to me any further. Instead, he has me speak to his wife because apparently he's actually the Count of Anvil who's been lost for several years, thanks to one of those weird email spam chains. And just like that, I'm labeled the Grey Fox. So since I've finished, not you, all of the guilds, not you, then maybe not you, should get on with the not you main quest. Yeah, that's a good idea. While I prepare myself for the most boring part of the game, let's check up on Martin of the Septim.
It's been a while since I last saw you, my dear friend. I figured out another piece of this proverbial jigsaw puzzle. You see, my purpose was clear from the beginning. I required the blood of a god, the blood of Tiber's Septa, my ancient ancestor. Ever since he became one with the gods, my fate was sealed, and I realized now I would not choose to escape even if given the chance. Speak to Joffer, he will tell you more.
Wow, that's a pretty big flip of the personality. Though to be fair, it is pretty badass to have an ancestor with both the blood and the soul of a dragon who becomes a god.
Martin telepathically told me through our father-son bond that I have with all of my abandoned children that you required the armor of Tiber Septim. Epic. It was starting to collect dust. Also, the finger bones of adventurers stupid enough to try to steal it.
You'd be correct. Martin wants it for some reason relating to a cool epic portal. All I can hope for is that the portal won't immediately tear my insides to shreds when I walk into it.
Here, take this key card. It unlocks an archive webpage called Sacretor. Yes, that's an actual name of a location in game. This is not a joke, not a trick. I've redeemed myself as an adopted father, and I'll prove it by sending you to your certain doom.
Wow, thanks. Alright, well, I have another place to be, it seems. My first stop, though, is the Shrine of Azura. I've got to slay a bunch of vampires that have found their way into her niche little e-girl community. It goes about as well as you'd expect. For anyone expecting it to go without injury or death, you expected wrong.
Fun begins.
Well, with my new force powers, I guess these vampires are just younglings in my path. With a job well done, I guess Azura gets what she asks for. So in return, I get her Lay Epic Soul Gem Star. Now I can make my way to Kankersor without any regrets. It turns out that within these walls are eons worth of corpses risen to defend their resting place. Fortunately, I'm LARPing as a Jedi, so they mean nothing to my massive penis. I mean lightsaber. Once inside, I must speak to several ghosts to unlock the path to Tiber Septim's armor. Eventually, I reach a point where I've seen so many ghosts that I might as well mistake this game for phasmophobia or something. My lightning can only do so much to these guys. Where are the Ghostbusters, for fuck's sake? What was that? Wait, do you sound like a Ouija board while talking? Wow, that's rough, buddy. I have no idea what you're saying, but congratulations or my condolences. As it turns out, that man is actually one of the ghosts that's going to help me. It sucks that I don't know what he's saying, but I'll assume he means this place is perfectly safe and I will face no challenges while recruiting his other friends. I managed to free the other three trapped spirits by killing their accursed resurrected bodies. The first gets inflicted by the Stupefy disease where I can lightsaber him to death. The second gets Expelliarmus, so I can just beat him to death with a nice looking keyblade. Finally, the third petrified and his soul is unlocked by the power of the heart. Alright, well, Tiber Septim's armor has successfully been acquired, and I only died because I was an idiot. Hey Martin, I've got good news.
According to Cameron, the world will know true hedonistic pleasure when he awakens Dagon. We should not allow such degeneracy to escape the confines of its prison.
That is a very smart idea. So the good news is that I have the two items you needed. Some Daedric sex toy and the very impressive armor set of that Tiber fella.
You are truly capable of anything you put your mind to. I am jealous of your ability to adventure. For so long, I had this $19 Fortnite card in my wallet, but I could not use it. Be forewarned though, once I use this Daedric sex toy for this hedonistic magnet, you cannot get it back.
Yeah, that's fine. It's got 5 weird squiggly ends to it though, so I'll pass. It reminds me of that one Echidna fact. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
So be it. I have 2 more requests for you. You must find the large and great and large stone. It has 720 watts of power running through it. Unfortunately, that is exactly when I need to turn this PG, personal gateway, on.
That sounds easy enough. Guess I'm hunting down the stone. Deep within the Aliad ruins of Succadec Pharmacy, it turns out the only resistance I'll come across are goblins and the undead. Imagine my shock when I strip this supposedly awesome stone from its pedestal and I'm ambushed by more undead. This time though, another lich appears. I'll have to show him that I mean business, since his last friend obnoxiously blew my brains out with nothing more than a dusty sneeze. Too bad my Harry Potter stone statue friend didn't help me in the slightest.
Oh, you're back. back. That was fast. It was almost like you could traverse reality faster than light with just a few button presses.
I have the stone, so bada boom bada bing is all I gotta say.
You impress me by the day. If I'm being honest, you were the reason I began to change. Someone so uncaring to the dangers and risks of the world. Your fate must be something far superior to that of many others. It is what makes me so curious of my own.
I'm glad you have a reason to change, though I'm not sure I'm someone to look to for change myself. The next part of this run is something very remarkably obnoxious. I have to help the Bruma Guard close an Oblivion gate. Unfortunately, I can't really skip through most of these quests because I die in some of them. So here we go. Bruma's gate starts well. Captain Bird and his men aid me in clearing the gate from the inside to reach the tower. I even resurrect the Bruma Guard that find themselves traversing the land of the dead a little too early. It seems that I forgot not to attack Atronox or Jamora with my high damage weapons, or maybe it's just that I shouldn't use sharp dildos as weapons. Either way, it is my turn to pass on. The rest of the Bruma Gate goes very well, so I managed to close it without worrying about my head coming off in the worst ways I could possibly imagine. Apparently, I need to open a great gate to get a great sigil stone. This means that the other cities will need to send backup so that Bruma isn't overrun by the Dremora once the Not Safe for Work Brigade opens up one outside of the city. And so the real fun begins, because the other cities of Cyrodiil have their own Oblivion gates to close before they will give us any extra troops. During Shaidenhal's defense, I do nothing important except die. You want to know how I died? Go back to my previous death and listen to the words gently electrifying your eardrums. Corporate wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. It's the same damn picture.
Oh, I hate you.
Good timing, I guess. While traversing the plains of Oblivion, I am met by the Count's son. He's a Knight of the Thorn, dedicated to the protection of Shaidenhal. He dies a horrible death while inside. Not so dedicated now, are you, dweeb? My comeuppance returns to confront me because I die again the same way I died the last 2 times. It's 2 goddamn mini slices. Narcolepsy? What a perfect spell for the most snooze-worthy part of the main quest story. I love this game, but damn is this tedious. Also, in this new reality of my post-death, the Count's son actually managed to survive. He makes me an honorary member of the Knights of the Thorn. Don't care, didn't ask, plus, you're wearing shiny cum armor. Breville's Gate is next, and unfortunately, I meet my end in this abject horror zone of a map. You see, I get rushed by like a billion Dremora all at once, and since I raised my difficulty a while ago, their spell hits like a truck. A 50-50 chance to absorb spells does not save me here at all.
Finger bang!
Thankfully, no other issues arise, so I can close the Breville Gate and move further south to that of the Leowin Gate. Leowin's Gate is so easy I freely traverse it and nab the sigil stone for myself. I did try and swim through the lava, but I wasn't stupid enough to stand in it long enough to die. Ooh, look at how real it looks. It looks so real lava-y. My next step is not another city, but instead outside of the Imperial City. You see, I have something important waiting for me. That's right, my brand new Honda NR500 is waiting for me to use it. On my way to the next Oblivion Gate, I end up crashing. Not the motorcycle, the game. So perhaps this wasn't the smartest idea. Regardless, I say screw it and ride the Honda anyway, all the way to Skingrad. Are you telling me that an Oblivion Gate opened outside of Skingrad and nobody in the guard can deal with it? Don't make me laugh. I do it with a snap of my fingers. Actually, it takes a little while longer, but a Keyblade and some magic spells is basically the same idea. Coral is next, and might I say, those damn Dremora didn't know what hit them. With my new Soul Gun blunderbuss, their bodies turn into a fine mystical paste upon contact with the explosive frost bullets. I already did everything the Kvatch Guard wanted me to do, so no need to really do much there. But Anvil, Anvil. Once I enter that zany pussy gate, I do my bestest to fight fair. Unfortunately, the Dremora don't fight fair. They fight like internet porn is about to be banned nationwide, and baby, they're left-handed. Alright, yeah, okay, I guess I shouldn't get cocky with a Keyblade in my hands, so I'll just revert to using my Soul Gun and shooting people with microwave rays in between. I even managed to cause quite the riot later on. It's a lot of fun watching Dremora fight one another when all of their swords and spells beat the hope out of you in one hit. Regardless, Anvil is done and over with, and after completing all of these Oblivion gates, the corresponding cities managed to give Bruma backup for the coming Great Gate. Now it's just time to get on my Honda and return to Bruma. Martin manages to give everyone a wonderfully inspirational speech about bacon and eggs and the coming French toast to the morn before the gates open. Now we fight until the Great Gate is fully opened, and once it is, it's a race against time to get the Great Sigil Stone. You see, if we're not fast enough, the hedonists are going to use the giant spinning dildo to ass-fuck the gates of Bruma until the city falls. We can't be having that, so I've got to steal their anal bead of pleasure and win the day. Sometimes I ricochet lightning off of walls to kill dummies in my way, other times I just ignore them as I run far, far away. With the Great Sigil Stone in hand, I can return to Martin and pog out of my gourd at the idea of finishing the game so soon. What a beautiful scene. My Honda, the giant dildo, a random wolf, perfection.
You have the stone! Perfect! Now we can bring paradise to a close and allow our destinies to truly take hold. I will have the portal ready for you when you return. Do hurry, before Maroon's Dagon is freed and our lands are pledged to a cacophonic art piece of porn, pleasure, and anarchy!
Well, I completely forgot at first, but this is the final quest of the game. I just didn't believe it happened so quick, so you know what time it is. Perfect. Now I am decked out in my new drip. All of my new weapons are equipped, and it is time to destroy paradise. Stepping in,
You. It's always you. You caused me so many issues throughout this journey of yours. Why are you so opposed to the idea of pleasure controlling our senses? Pleasure being the reason we live and die. If a man wants to die because he is feeling sexual or mental pleasure day in and day out until the end of his short life, then who are you to say he cannot do that? To me, it is the very lifeblood of mortality to instinctually be in search of that which makes you feel good, alive. At the dawn of time, instincts brought us happiness and safety. From that moment, man and mare made their decisions to satisfy their carnal desires.
Blah, blah. Shut up! I'm turning the damn volume down. Finally, I can think without hearing the sounds of self-assured assholery being echoed across the smoothest parts of my brain. For a place called paradise, there sure is a lot of nature and poorly made stone pathways. If this were my paradise, it'd be filled with milk rivers and the ice cream hills.
Who's what's a hosa? Welcome to Canada. Or maybe it's not. I don't really keep track of where paradise is anymore. Last person who came through here was some prime minister in blackface. Something about this just in. Sounds Trudeau.
Huh? This place is Canadian?
No, not really, but that's not important. Listen, you hoser. You destroyed our great gate, embarrassing my brothers. So you have two options. Either you can serve me, and we can share a nice Mickey or two, or we'll get in a kerfuffle, and you'll find yourself stranded in the seas of confusion.
I'll take the latter. A kerfuffle sounds pretty nice, actually. Especially when I can just cause my opponent to freak out and fly in every direction all at once. A non-Euclidean Canadian. With the bands of the Chosen, I tromp into the trial grounds and crash. On my second try, I beat some people up with a fish. I also run into Eldemil. When I was recording, I was going to give this guy some dialogue, but truthfully, I have no real reason to. Eldemil asked me to help take out Cameron, and I certainly agreed to let him help me. With a bit of trickery, him and I managed to escape the looming eyes of the Dremora leaders. And that's really all these caves have got. On the other side of it all, Eldemil and I meet two nerds. The woman is some lady who presumes that I've seen her before. I have no idea who she is, and I don't even know if I've ever known who she was in the entirety of my gamer life. However, she does invite me into the palace her father lives in, so that's pretty awesome. Oh wait, I forgot. I turned your volume down. Let me
against
turn
our
that up real quick.
idealistic pleasures, champion of crybabies. How pitiful you are to stand before me and think you can make a difference. You will see death before your very eyes. You will learn what it means to be in total anarchy. You will find that I am far more powerful than your foolish ambitions may attempt to convince you otherwise.
Well, that was pretty easy. Let's see what happens when we get back.
You're back, and you have the Amulet of Queens. I am truly impressed.
I'm glad you're so impressed.
I shall now place upon my neck the amulet and finally become the Emperor of Tamriel. We shall go to the Imperial City to light the Great Boogie Bomb. There, all dissenters will dance until they can dance no longer.
Oh, alright, let's get to the Imperial City. Pardon me while I climb aboard my Honda and speed along there myself. Huh, the game crashes. I guess I won't be using my Honda again. At the Imperial City, Martin and this Ocato fella talk to one another about the political state of video games in the modern day. Yes, Redfall was a major disappointment, we all know, don't rub it in. The important part is that we get ambushed by Dremora, as the Imperial City has been filled to the brim with Daedra supremacists. Once we get closer to the Temple of the Boogie Bombers, it's revealed that, believe it or not, Mehrunes Dagon has really crossed into our reality. We'll have to do something so drastic. What if I just... Maybe that'll do it. I can just skirt around him and... Okay, alright. No, that didn't do it at all. What about a force push? Or a narcolepsy? Neither work? Okay, fine. Now that I've made it into the Temple of the Boogie Bombers, I get one last word with Martin before the very end.
You've helped me realize my true purpose, and I thank you for that, which I could not do myself. Others will be stronger than I, and you will be there to aid them. Goodbye, friend.
And Mehrunes Dagon breaks through the ceiling. That's when I find out that Martin Septim was actually a scaly this entire damn time. Breaking the Amulet of Queens, he becomes an avatar of Akatosh and defeats Mehrunes Dagon. Then he solidifies himself into a statue that will forever remind the Imperial City what Cyrodiil went through and what their fate almost was. Ironically, the man who was so worried about his own fate changed the very fate of Tamriel with nothing but his blood, his flesh, and his determination to survive.
First you let Martin die, and then you stick around and ogle at his statue. Get to work. You have other content to show off.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry for mourning the loss of my closest friend ever. I'm glad I didn't give you any lines before, you shitter. I'm gonna be real with you, I totally forgot about the Knights of the Nine DLC, so when I had Ocato say other content, I meant the Shivering Isles. So my best bet to get there is to use the wonderful rideable slaughterfish I haven't shown off yet. Now I tried this twice, but crashed both times before I was finally able to ride the slaughterfish I so endearingly named Fred all the way to the door. What door? The face door. Duh. Once I arrive, one crazy motherfucker transmissibles himself through the purple light only to shout his schizoid rambles. It sounds like me on a Tuesday night. What doesn't sound like me is getting petrified and then slashed to death with a rusty looking sword.
Holy shit, did you see that? He had a gun! Thank goodness I put him down while he was helpless and unarmed.
Yeah, I saw that. What's up with this door?
Apparently it's the doorway to some land of mongrels or terrorists or something like that. Every single person that comes through here starts shouting about the letter T. They have a weird obsession with it or something.
Oh, so it sounds like a place full of smart people. I think I should check it out. It'd be a nice change of pace, I think.
Well, that's your choice. You can be as stupid as you want to. I'm not gonna stop you.
Alright, sweet. I've got full permission to be stupid. As I touch the purple light, I am transported to another room. Weird. That's like how all doors work, so why is this one purple and glowing? There's a guy here and he asked me to sit down. Alright, weirdo. I bet you want me to have manners next.
How can I help you, Governor? I presume you wish to have a butcher's hook around here, eh?
Yeah, but what's with the door? It's all magic and purpley.
It seems our purple LEDs might have been a bit too bright. We ordered them from a TikTok-sponsored advertisement, so I hope you can understand the poor quality.
Oh, alright, well yeah, that makes sense. Well, who are you and what is this place, I guess? I don't know.
I'm Askil, Chamberlain to the Lord of this schizoid land. You see, me lord has recently come into more power, and has opened that door to allow entry into our country.
Cool, and why did you just leave it in the middle of the bay?
Well, because you had to traverse the channel to get here. Use your loaf. Now, would you like to join us here and meet our new lord, or would you prefer to leave and never come back? I'll let you think about it.
Well, I certainly would be interested in what he proclaims to be a schizoid land. I'm not sure though. I've already beaten Oblivion, so honestly I have no real reason to go any further except for content. Fuck it, why not?
Have you made your blinking mind up, or shall I go positively Dad's army?
I'll join you guys, sure. What could go wrong?
Excellent choice, matey. And might I be the first to welcome you to the United Kingdom. Mind the gatekeeper, and don't mess with the palace guards. King Charles shall be waiting for you. Enjoy your stay.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see what's in store for me here. Oh wow, that's pretty nice. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Wait, did he say the United Kingdom? Oh shit, Margaret Thatcher! And as I flee the scene of the worst crime known to mankind, I have successfully beaten Oblivion with a random mod every death. Not to say it wasn't gonna happen, given I like to beat my head against the wall until I win. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all of my voice actors and actresses. You guys did absolutely wonderful jobs, and I appreciate everything. They don't have to help me, but they do anyway, and I love them for it. And you should too. If you want to check out any of the voice actors, all of their names will be here in the credits and down in the description. And of course, make sure to like and subscribe. I'd like to give a special thank you to Terra Nation, who joined my channel as a channel member. It happened last month, May 10th, so I haven't been able to really, do anything about it. But I appreciate you, and this is where your name appears in the end of my video. Huzzah! After all is said and done, there's just one thing left to say, and you already know what's coming. My name was Jack. It always has been. Always remember, when the world comes crashing down, at least you can say that you aren't British. And if you are, well then how about you just stay lucky.